Hello. We are going to be going through viewers' questions. I think we'll probably be able to finish this thread right now. But I know that there's also a lot of other questions that have been asked on the videos that have come out after this thread. So I am going to go through those questions as well. I just wanted to complete this part of it so that I didn't have to backtrack or miss anyone. So let's start with Tracy Morse, who wants to know if Brian's dad knew that they were in a wanted vehicle. Good question. Knight of Swords reversed. Judgment. Reversed Five of Wands. Yes. Yeah. Knight of Swords being reversed is like Brian kind of being like, we have to do it. Or kind of like forcing him or like pushing him a little bit. Like, okay, they're looking for this vehicle, but it's not. His dad knew that they were looking for that vehicle, but he was convinced that that wasn't the one that was at the scene. Like, he was just trying to not have it cause more of a problem because he felt like he felt like Brian was being set up. So it's like he knew that they were looking for that vehicle, obviously, but it's like, it's almost like Brian told him like that he knew of which vehicle they were looking. Like, it's weird. It's like he convinced him to. He convinced his dad's mind to truly not believe that that was the vehicle, knowing that it was the vehicle. So like, he had some kind of story that convinced his dad, even though deep down he was still questioning it, but he had some kind of story that convinced his dad that like, oh yeah, they're looking for this vehicle, but it's not this one. I know which one it is, and like, they're looking into it. Or I know which one it is, and it's this person, or something like that. Like, he had a story to convince him that that wasn't the vehicle. Five of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, it's almost like the dad knew and Brian knew that the dad knew, but like, they both kind of just pretended like they didn't know. But there was also some kind of story that could be reasonably believed under different circumstances. So like, for example, like Brian saying potentially, it's this person's car or something like that. He had some story to make it seem realistic. But did the dad know they were in a wanted vehicle? It's hard to answer that directly because it's like, he knew that they were looking for that vehicle, right? Because everyone kind of knew, but like, he was aware of that. It's almost like he was waiting for them to falsely be like, oh, this is the vehicle. And then like, in his dad's mind, his dad was waiting for them to be like, oh, this is the vehicle, and then check it out and be like, oh, never mind, you guys can go. Like, that's what he was waiting for. He was convinced that Brian was being set up, and there was going to be some kind of like unfolding of that. So like, I guess you could say, I feel like the dad wouldn't have been surprised if they got pulled over and they ended up saying, oh, we got to search the vehicle or look at the vehicle. But then the dad would have expected in that case for them to be like, oh, you're good, you can go, this isn't it. If that makes sense. Roch Lorraine wants to know if there's any truth to this being a trap house. Drug house, trap house. Yeah. Yep. It wasn't always, though. Temperance in reverse. It's like, it's almost like this used to be like a secondary or like a third down the line, but it got moved up in importance because there was something that happened wrong in one of the other locations. So like, let's say that there's like 2 or 3 houses that are kind of run by that same person or people. It's like this was like the least busy, but something happened in one of the other places that this person deals with, so this one got busier. So it was always happening, but it has gotten more frequent or more volume. King of Swords reversed. So I said it didn't used to be that much, but it's gotten more volume, and then we pulled the card that represents the killer. That's the connection. When there came to be more focus or more volume coming from or going into that house is when Brian came into the picture. Card to confirm that. 8 of Swords reverse, freedom. It's possible that Brian was like, okay, so if you think of the drug operation as like a chain restaurant, just for an example, think of it as a chain restaurant. It's almost like Brian was getting put in a position to run his own chain or his own branch. Ace of Pentacles and 2 of Wands reversed. A lost opportunity and plans falling apart. He was getting in position to run that like sector. Interesting. So to answer the question, any truth to it being that, I would say, in my opinion, yes. More so recently than it used to be, but like I know that there's talk about it has been that, and I believe that that's also true, but I feel like there was a period of time where it was greatly increased. Was that period of increase within, let's do 3 months, 6 months, or a year? 3 months is 6 of Cups reversed. 6 months is 3 of Cups. And a year, Page of Pentacles reversed. Within the last 6 months, there's been an increase. Well, 6 months prior to the murders, there was an increase in the income or outgo of that in that house. 6 of Cups reversed. When did Hannah pass away? Clarify, Six of Cups reversed. The Moon. Something that's not being seen. So there was an increase in business flow about 6 months prior to the murders. So that would be about February. Did Hannah pass away in February? Be right back. Yep. She passed away Sunday, February 24th. So she passed, and then there was an She passed, and then there was an increase in sales. What would that tell you? That would tell you that they got the person that knew something out of the way. Secrets. So we have childhood. Oh my God. It's Dylan. Allegedly, my opinion. It's Dylan. She has the connection to Hannah. The Six of Cups. Oh, I just realized I'm not wearing my headphone thing. I'll get it in 1 second. It's so about 6 months prior to the murders, there was an increase in that activity. We have the Six of Cups reversed, which is telling Dylan and Hannah were the ones with a connection, right? Let me see. I'm just gonna randomly. Three of Pentacles reversed, a team falling apart, misalignment, money. So what I'm getting here is that, allegedly, my opinion, Hannah knew something, which has come out in multiple readings. Hannah knew something that she wasn't supposed to know. And then it just so happens that right when she passed, we're now getting that there was a drastic increase in what was going on business wise. And then we have that falling apart, that team falling apart. Then we have the Three of Cups. Almost like celebrating that there's no more wrench in the plan. And then we have the Page of Pentacles reversed, which is about immaturity. And this was 3, 6, a year. So 3 months, 6 months, a year. So the immaturity was happening before Hannah's death. Immaturity, plans being messed up, a lack of progress, missed chances to make money. I'm gonna find my headphone and I will be right back. Okay. Okay, so Susan Russo said that Brian's parents say that he was set up by a security guard. Is that true? I want to look into, do they really believe that that's true? The Star and the Nine of Cups. They want to believe it's true. They really want to believe it's true. I think they recognize that there is a high likelihood that it's not true, but it's almost like grasping to that one speck of hope in the sky. Linda R wants to know, does Dylan know Brian? Or how does Dylan know Brian, if she does? So, does she? Six of Swords. They have some kind of past, but they're not close. It's not a close connection. Three of Swords. King of Cups reversed. Does she know him? I believe so, but not like a personal or close relationship. I think it's more of a like acquaintances or in passing. Clarifier for the Three of Swords. Ace of Cups. Yeah, the somehow through Dylan is how Brian discovered his target. He discovered his target through Dylan. Was it through her directly or through something he's involved with her? Nine of Wands. Him and Dylan are part of the same organization, and somehow that's what connected him to the victim pool that he chose from. It's looking like I wouldn't say that they have a personal connection between the two of them. It's more like know each other because they know the same people or stuff like that. Like there is some familiarity there. King of Cups being reversed though is oh, High Priestess. She knows more about him than he does about her. She knows, yeah, she knows more about him than he knows about her, but they know about each other, but she's not going to say that. Because how she knows about him is through something that she doesn't want out. $99 Sunflowers wants to know why. Okay, so let's look into that first. Just a general overall why. Seven of Wands reversed. Surrendering to something, giving up. Six of Pentacles reversed, a one-sided debt. Defeat it, one-sided debt. Clarifier for the Seven of Wands. Two of Pentacles. Overcommitted to something. Overcommitted to something. Having a hard time. It's information. It's tied to information. Brian was like stepping into something. Some kind of role. But like that was going to be taken away if the girls said something or said what they knew. And that's why so many people were helping him without talking to him or like directly having a connection with him, because it was someone trying to help him make sure this could happen. It's almost like becoming a manager of like a chain restaurant. Obviously, you know, but like that's like that's the energy. It's like you're going to be given this chain of restaurants, but these people are going to say something that's going to make them all close. So are you going to take care of it or not? Because it's not like he was hired to do a job. It was like he chose to, but because he had something to lose, it's like he had something to lose that he didn't really even have all the way yet. He was going to lose it before he had it because of something that they knew. Why does this feel like it's not just drugs? Oh, it's not just drugs. That's why everybody's so scared, because they can be made to disappear. I want to pull a clarifier for that. Clarifier for what I just said. Sorry, I'm like trying to process that because I did not. It's something that I've considered as part of this case, but I ruled it out. I didn't think it was, but it. Time to use, not to lose. To like use your time, don't lose your time. I need to like process that. Be right back. All right. I haven't used my dowsing rods on this channel yet, but I do use them often. Essentially, a way to view these would be like tapping into universal consciousness and your energy field directing what happens. They're on a swivel, so it's not me directing it. Like there's nothing I can do to get it to go a certain way. Essentially, if they cross, it is a yes, and if they go apart, it is a no. So I'm just going to use these to ask one question. I'm going to start using these more because they are a very valuable tool, especially through trying to get yes or no answers with true crime. But I do just want to ask one question, and I want to do it with these because I want a straight up answer, because that's really going to determine everything going forward. And if it's a no, it's a no. And that's fine. I don't mind being wrong, but I want to make sure, and that's why I'm doing this. So I'm going to do these, and then I'm going to pull a card. My question is it that Kaylee and Maddie knew about the drugs, but found out that there was also something else involved, and that's why they were not okay with it anymore? Is that what it is? I'm going to pull a card for a clarifier. The sun. Upright, the sun. So, in my opinion, the girls knew about the drugs, but it was not the drugs that they wanted to say something about. It was something else. involving people. And that's where the problem came in here. And the sun coming out there with a unicorn on the card. It's like, it's almost like it's saying it's right in front of everyone's face, kind of just, but it seems like it almost seems like, oh, how could we be witnessing that firsthand happening? Like how, I think that Brian made a really big mistake by getting caught in terms of allowing light to be shown on things that were not meant to be lit up. Ten of Cups reverse, an unhappy family, unhappy group of people. I just said Brian messed up, shone light on what was not supposed to be lit up, and look, there's literally a rainbow around these people. Big sign of look here at something that was not supposed to be lit up like that. Was this a drug house and Kay was done with it? Two of Cups. I don't know if I should say that. Eight of Cups reversed. It's possible that Kaylee saw something firsthand that she knew was going on, but didn't know was that close to where she was. The passing off of a person. Or if not that, then she saw something that wasn't drugs, but was enough to rock her, that was closer to home than she had thought. Like she thought certain things were there, but certain things were not. And she found out that that was incorrect. What did M tell Adam? The Emperor fell out right away. Nine of Swords reversed. Releasing fear. Okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to be scared anymore. I'm just going to do it. Seven of Cups. Lots of choices. And the World in reverse. The World in reverse is making me think that this is what she was waiting for the end of the year to do, but she let it slip out early. She made a bad choice. Nine of Swords is about finding help for a deeply emotional or mental struggle. Clarify the Nine of Swords reversed. Six of Wands reversed. Retreating after failure, getting out of the public eye. It's like the girls had a plan to do something after they were safely out of this area, and this is not me blaming anyone at all, but something that night, possibly the amount of alcohol, possibly just feeling like, oh, it's close enough to the end of school, possibly being intimidated by the stalker and feeling like I gotta make a move now. I believe that that night Maddie put into action what was going to originally be said at the end of the year once they were safely away. She said it a little bit too early, either because she was scared, drunk, both. Yeah. It's like she was back and forth. Should I not, should I not? And then the Seven of Cups is clouded judgment. So she misjudged how quickly the reaction to this news would be and how intense it would be and how quickly it would spread. It's almost like Maddie wanted Kaylee there in case someone didn't believe her. Then she could be like, look, she knows too. And Kaylee just happened to be back there that night. Like a really big relief that, like, if someone else has been in on this secret with you, like if the girls have been keeping this low key, trying to stay safe, it's like, yeah, it's like, I think part of her wanted Kaylee there in case someone was like, I don't believe you. Then she could be like, she knows too, so, or she saw it too, or you can confirm with her. But like, it couldn't be over the phone because then that could be heard or traced or something. Like there was some degree of them being very smart and strategic, but one little piece of that puzzle came out too early and it caused everything else. It's like they had a good plan, it just didn't get enacted at the right time. Confirmation of that. 4 of Pentacles and 5 of Swords. Yeah, they should have held the information close, and the fact that they didn't caused the great fight or the conflict to happen. They were up against something that was much bigger than what they would be able to handle. The big guy. I don't know what that part means. Jay Reyes wants to know, has he done this before? 7 of Swords reversed. Queen of Swords reversed. No, but he might try to make it seem like he did if it comes down to him getting caught. Like, I see him almost potentially taking credit for other murders that, like, if they question him, oh, were you involved in this? Like, if it comes to a point where there's no way out and he's caught, I almost see him being like, yeah, I did that too. But, like, way down the road. I do feel like he's done some stuff, but not murder. It's almost like mean acts to other people that they couldn't know was coming from him. Like, he definitely found ways to let out his hate, but not murder. Not murder. One more card to confirm that. Justice in reverse. And the Three of Wands. Yeah, he was waiting for the right time, the right situation. It's almost like he was testing himself to see how far he wanted to go, like letting out little bits of hate at a time and seeing how does that make me feel. But I do feel like he's been planning something for a very long time. There's a great feeling of buildup underneath of the energy that led to this. But I really feel like that buildup is so intense because he's been waiting so long to act on what he wanted to do. So I don't believe that he has killed before. Oh no wants to know, are 2 or more people involved? Okay, so let's look into... Are 2 or more people involved in the actual murder itself? Knight of Pentacles and the Hermit. No. Someone drove, but one person did the murders. So there's a lot of people that are guilty here in different ways, but I would say there's someone who's almost as equally guilty as Brian, in that this person has a big enough role that like this may not have been able to happen without this person's help, but this person didn't actually have a knife and commit the murder. But they're like Brian's guilt is here and the other person's guilt is here. It's not far off. Like the person is very, very guilty, but they did not actually physically stab anyone. It's more of, you know, other pieces of the puzzle that they helped with that played a very big role, but as far as actually committing the acts, no, I believe that was just Brian. I know a lot of people are asking about the link. I am not comfortable confirming or denying anything with that at this point. I'm not saying that I won't get there eventually, but I also just need to be mindful of my safety and not getting sued. So I hope to eventually be in the position where I can at least paint a picture so that you can see what I'm seeing, but I'm still working on that, so I'm not going to address any of that quite yet. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Sarah Brown wants to know, was Dylan having an affair with Jack? Jack is the ex-boyfriend or something. Oh wait, Jack? Jack's the one from the food truck, right? Okay, so was Dylan having an affair with Jack? The Magician in reverse. Queen of Pentacles. No, but guess who they're connected through? The link. The Magician in reverse is like being out of touch. So no, but they are connected through the link. It's funny because I literally just said I'm not saying more about that, and then the next card that comes out is about that person. Allie French wants to know, who is the red-headed male that's thought to be an accomplice? Is there a red-headed male involved in this? Death. The Hierophant. Yeah. Yeah. But it's someone that is higher up the ranks than Brian. Possibly someone that he answered to in some way at some point. Like, it's so let's say there's a redhead that helped Brian in some way. It would have been because Brian is answering in some way or lower in the rank than this person, and this person was more like making sure he did something right or keeping an eye on him. Like, it wasn't someone that Brian was like, hey, can you help me with this? Like, that wasn't it. But there is, yes. Is JD ruled out? King of Pentacles. Ace of Wands. He was ruled out too quickly. Is he ruled out? Yeah. But he was ruled out. And I'm not necessarily saying he shouldn't be ruled out, but what I'm saying is he was ruled out before he should have been able to be ruled out. If that makes sense. So that's not necessarily saying that he did anything or that he shouldn't be ruled out. But what I'm saying is the initial ruling out happened before it should have happened. One second. I would like to know about the other female. Mist T 33 wants to know about the other female, Bethany. So we did her energy, but let's one second. Okay, let's do, I'm going to pull 3 cards for Bethany's energy. Let's do before the murders, when she found out about the murders, and now. So what's before the murders? Bethany was at the fraternity. She was at, anyway, blood, this was in reverse, but the blood moon, the wolves howling at the moon. And in the other reading, this was representing the guys, the group of guys at the frat house. And now it's Bethany before the murders. She was literally at the frat house that this card is representing. Illusion, uncertainty, confusion, secrets, egotism, narcissism. I feel bad for Bethany, honestly. If we're going to be completely honest, I don't... how do I put this? Out of the remaining roommates, I feel the most bad for Bethany. I feel as though she could have made wiser choices if she was not being misled purposely by people that she trusted. Next card is for when she found out about the murders. Do I think she made great choices in some things? No. But there had been lies going on for some time that I don't want to say it's not her fault, but like certain pieces of this she couldn't have understood until it was too late, if that makes sense. Hopefully that kind of explains what I'm thinking. It was in reverse. Shelter, spiritual growth, revival, accountability, and healing. It was in reverse, and that's representing when she found out about what had happened. Accountability, I said that in the other reading, she was the one that didn't want to wait. She wanted to call and was made to wait. Revival is unfortunately wanting that to happen, but not being able to. And then there is a skeleton on this card, and it looks like this skeleton is in like the woods or something. Yeah, like a forest. And it looks like the skeleton's on the side, like screaming of frustration. That's like honestly what I imagine her kind of doing after finding out, like just going and screaming, because it's almost like she couldn't have known better until certain things happened. But like once they happened, it's like everything sped up and replayed in her mind. And she was like, oh my gosh, how did I not see this? How did I not see that? How did I not like, she realized what she wasn't realizing prior upon seeing that scene of what happened. And then one for now. Beast. And this is the card that represented Maddie and Kaylee in the other reading. Conflict, competition, arguments, aggression, tension, and oppressors. It was in reverse. She's being silenced. She's being intimidated. She's being silenced by something. Blood moon, blood moon. Beginning and end. She's being sandwiched in the middle of just no way out. There's nothing she can do. She's got wolves and multiple people around her, doesn't know who she can trust, doesn't know who she can talk to, and she knows there's one person that's really scary that's in charge of everything. But she also knows can't really talk to anybody because there's a lot of wolves out here. Debbie Heim wants to know connection to Sigma Chi. We did that. We did Christchurch. Kingman House? I don't know what that is. Let me look up what that is really quick. Hold on. I can't find anything about that. So if somebody can let me know, I will look into that on the next one. We're getting King Road. I don't know. I'm not sure. I have not been keeping up with things that have been happening with the case because I've been a little busy, but so it's very possible that I just missed something. We did Christchurch. Stacy Don wants to know, Brian idolized Bundy and Bundy was fond of discarding bodies at Taylor Mountain close to WSU. Has Brian ever been to Taylor Mountain close to WSU? The Chariot. Yeah, he's traveled there. Did Brian go to Taylor Mountain at all after the murders? Ten of Wands reversed and Ten of Pentacles reversed. No. No, yeah, the Ten of Pentacles being reversed is like a breaking up of a tradition. So in this case, it's implying he's not following BTK's tradition. Sorry, I lost my place. Oh, Bundy. He's not following Bundy's tradition. And the Ten of Wands is like giving himself a break from following in others' footsteps and trying to live up to others and starting to just kind of do his own trajectory. I do feel like he's visited there though at some point, but I don't think that holds any importance or significance to anything that could have happened after the murders. I think my phone is going nuts. I'll be right back. Okay. Robert Gordon III wants to know why only one drop of DNA on the sheath when it should have been covered in blood. How did only one drop get on there? Eight of Wands, Ten of Swords. Fast. Because it was left in the beginning before everything else. It was the first thing that was left. I'm seeing him like putting it somewhere and then it coming out. Like maybe like maybe he put it up his sleeve or in his pant or something, and then something happened really fast and it came out. But like, it doesn't necessarily need to be first. It was somewhere on his person but covered. I'm seeing him wear a skin-tight suit and putting it underneath. Like up a sleeve or maybe in his... No, it couldn't have been in his chest. Sliding it up his sleeve, I feel. But then something happened really fast. Four of Wands. I am seeing that Brian left it. I'm not seeing he left it on purpose. I'm seeing it was in some kind of rush or fast moment that it kind of came out of wherever it was secured at. I really am feeling like he's like put it up his sleeve like this. Like it was like up his sleeve. And I don't know how it came back out or if he took it out. Is there a serial killer who's done this? It's this part of he got this from someone. It's something that someone else has been known to do or caught doing. Like, for example, let's say there's a serial killer who made a confession afterwards and just happened to say like, oh, I slid the knife out of my sleeve or I put it here. It's something that he heard from somewhere else, but like it didn't work because it got left behind. I am saying that he left it behind in some kind of like either rush or like was doing something quick and didn't realize it had detached or fallen out or fallen off. Wands. A witness may not be fully disclosing all of the facts. And we're talking about the knife. I lied, I'm going to use my dowsing rods again on this reading. Did Dylan see Brian carrying the knife that night when she saw him in the house? No. So she did not see the knife, but is not fully disclosing everything. Was the knife sheath left? No, I'm going to pull a card. Was the knife sheath left in the house but moved because it was in an inconvenient spot for somebody? I don't know what that could mean, but like, Page of Swords. It wasn't left in that room. It was somewhere else and somebody put it there. Maybe I'm seeing that it's Brian's sheath, but he didn't leave it. Oh my God. Oh, my eyes just got really watery. It's Brian's sheath, but he didn't leave it. It is his DNA, it is his sheath, it was from the knife that was used, but he didn't leave it behind. He had something else that he was putting the knife in that night. That's what I'm seeing. That's how Dylan didn't see the knife. He wasn't using that sheath, he was using something that was going to keep the blood when he put it back in it. Like something made of rubber? Did they have something that like if you put the knife back in the sheath, I believe it's leather, right? Or something. So the fluids would seep into the leather or fabric or whatever. He had something that he could put it in that it would just preserve it, and it was attached to him somewhere. Somebody else put that sheath, but it was his from the knife. Knight of Cups reversed. Am I supposed to say what I am thinking right now? All right. My opinion, allegedly, I believe that Brian committed the murders. Brian left the house. Brian, when he was leaving the house, was not carrying this knife because he had this knife in some kind of other protective type of casing attached to his body that was not the original sheath that it came in, because he wanted to preserve what would be on the knife after doing what he did. I believe that someone who was called to the house that morning moved it or put it there. Is the sheath found? Does that belong to the knife that was used? Ace of Swords, it doesn't. Oh. It's like a similar, it's a knife that's like, it's that, it wasn't the exact knife used. I also got Strength in reverse, so that's like self-doubt. It's also like, just throwing this out there. Is it possible that Brian wanted to murder and somebody else wanted these people murdered, used the fact that Brian wanted to murder, let him do the job to get rid of the people that were about to talk about something that they weren't supposed to talk about, and then went and made sure that Brian would get caught doing this? Kind of gave false promises that you won't go down for this because this, that, and the third, but the whole time it was really kind of known that he was going to take the fall. That's what I'm seeing. I know that that sounds like a lot, but that's what I'm getting. I mean, it's almost clear as day. I don't believe it was police that planted it. And I do believe it came from Brian. I do believe it actually has his DNA. But I don't feel like he left it there. Hard to confirm what I just said. Queen of all creation of the plan. The one who has the world in her hands. Four butterflies on the card. And she's holding one bird in her hand to let it go. Let it go. Okay, yeah, that's the end of the list. Well, there's a couple questions that we answered. And I know that everyone's frustrated that I'm a little vague on who the link is, but to put it plainly, I am not naive to the fact that what I'm doing could be potentially dangerous, and I'm trying to limit the amount of that danger while still putting the truth out there. So I'm sorry if that part is frustrating, but there is certain things that I cannot say quite yet. And once everything comes out, you will understand why, because you'll kind of see that energy that I'm up against on the other side here and why I have to be cautious and careful. Okay, I have no idea how long this video is, but let's wrap it up. Okay, so the energy in the house, right? I want one card for the energy in the house before the murders happened, one for the energy in the house as the murders were happening, and one for the killer's energy after the murders. Actually, no. Not, scratch that last one. It's not the killer's energy after the murders. This one is the energy in the house before the murders, then during, and then the energy in the house after the murders. I'm going to stay in the house for this. Vanth, caretaker of the lost. Respite, assistance, and memory. And it's a female holding like a dagger type of sword. Caretaker of the lost. Those who have lost their way. She's holding a skull in her hand. During the murders. Caretaker of the lost. That makes me feel like bringing wrath to those who went the wrong way. It's in reverse. The Maestro, master of inspiration, understanding, community, ingenuity. And it's the guy that's holding the 4 lights. It was in reverse. So it's dimming that. It's putting the 4 lights out. Master of inspiration. I feel like that's confirming that there's somebody else who was knowing what was going on when it was going on. Someone else who was also interested in that lifestyle. And then the energy in the house after the murders. I got 2. Bride in a cage. Bride in a cage. The house after the murders. Bride in a cage. The girlfriend of someone who can't make any other decisions other than what the boyfriend wants them to make, for example. Arthur, the champion of Avalon, and it's a guy with a sword on the card. Championship, nobility, and self-realization. Self-realization for the energy in the house after the murders. The energy in the house after the murders. Bride in a cage is Dylan. This is Bethany. Self-realization. She did not know what was going to happen until after it happened. Not the same with her. Did not know. There was nothing she could do about whatever she did know. She did not know that this was going to happen until after it happened. Bethany, my opinion. And I do believe that Bethany has been more forthright with police than what we know about. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Hold on. Let me see if I should take that part out. Let me pull a card. Eight of Pentacles. Oh, no. Okay. We're good. I don't think that it was... You know what? I don't want to say more. That's good. That's all I'm going to say about that. What I'm saying is I don't feel like she is as unhelpful as we may think that she is. But I don't want to say more than that. And then I'm just going to pull one last card from here. What would the four of them like us to focus on right now? Two cards. Victim engaged in unusual behavior prior to the crime. And there's two masks and one person that's switching back and forth between the masks. Unusual behavior before the crime is pointing towards what Maddie said to Adam. Because it was out of character for her to go out of track on the plan that she had set. But either she was spooked or nervous or saw the opportunity because Kaylee was there to back her up if someone didn't believe her. Maybe she thought that she could trust the person that she was talking to more than she could, but they were a little two-faced. Victim had history with the killer, and it's a person with the knife behind their back. Ignore the words on this card. The picture that this is painting for me is that Kaylee and Maddie talking to Adam and Adam stabbing them in the back with passing along the information that was given to him. It's almost like I don't believe that like Adam is necessarily at fault for the murders, obviously. And I don't believe that there's probably not anything that he could be charged with, even if the truth did come out. But there's something known that would help to solve this that's not being said. I think that that's all the questions from this post. So I am, again, going to go through the other, like the videos that have been posted since this community post. I'm going to go through them and do those questions. I'm guessing that'll probably be another 2 videos. And then after that is going to be the big reading that we go through. These are all the videos. My assistant Brooke has been putting everything together for me. It's every video that I've done on the Idaho case. And I'm going to make puzzle pieces or tarot cards out of the pieces of the puzzle that we've gotten. And then we are going to do a big reading and figure out with the directional dice where each of these pieces of the puzzle goes in relation to each other. So that is the plan. Hopefully I will have one more video at least by the end of the weekend. That is the fingers crossed. But the next one I will go into questions from the other videos. So I'm going to start on whatever video was posted after that community post and then work our way forward from there. I want to wrap it up with something. I use these. These are my handmade ones that I have. I just want to outward. I'm gonna keep pulling cards until we get something that makes sense here. It was in reverse. Stick to the plan. Not anytime soon. It's confirming that Maddie was meant to be holding off on what she said, but said it too soon. It got out too soon. Sometimes family is the one we create. If that doesn't scream Maddie and Kaylee, and not that their families were not great, but I'm just saying their bond with one another was family, and they were not blood family, so that would be represented by this card. To me, that's a confirmation from Maddie and Kaylee about something being said, everything that was said here. But I'm getting a little overwhelmed, so I need to take a minute and have a good night.